What's going on, guys? I'm Andrew,
I'm Jason.
and this is Movie Source.
Today we're going to be reviewing The Nice Guys.
Alright, so The Nice Guys is being directed by Shane Black. Now, Shane Black had last done Iron Man 3, and before that he'd done Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. He also wrote such films as Lethal Weapon 1. He wrote Last Boy Scout. So I'm a very big Shane Black fan. So coming into this, I had a lot of high hopes, and also I'd been, I'd seen that this had gotten a lot of great reviews, so I was really looking forward to this. And I gotta say, it definitely was a good film. It wasn't amazing, oh my god, but it was definitely a good, enjoyable film. And I gotta say, the most enjoyable thing for me was the performances by the two main leads, Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling. I really loved their chemistry together. I could just watch those two just banter and talk all day. So that was fun. I liked watching their interaction. I thought, the film could have been paced a little better, but I'd say that, like I said, I loved watching those two together, and it was a pretty interesting story. I thought it was pretty, simple, but just in general, I love seeing these two guys together. They were great.
Yeah, I mean, you said it. The whole movie is carried by Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling. The story is kind of like, there is a story, but in the end, it really turns out to be nothing. So it kind of was like, what was the whole point? But the whole point is just to see these guys, on this case, hanging out with each other. I really liked Ryan Gosling's daughter in this movie. She was a cool, another third character to kind of add into their chemistry and just sort of, take it a little different direction. I mean, this movie was really good for what it was. It was kind of a different spin on like a buddy cop type movie, even though they're not really cops or investigators, but it was cool, 1970s setting, and I really like all the world they put you in. Definitely made you feel like it was that time period. The humor in this movie was for the most part, I thought, really good. There were some jokes for me that were kind of like didn't really hit, but overall, I thought it was a pretty funny movie, and it was cool just watching Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, and just really quickly getting back to your point about having that 70s feel for it. I'm giving a baby minor spoiler, but and one of the signs when they're driving by, it says Jaws 2. I was like, I loved it. Well, I love the detail in that, because that film came out in 78. So I love when films get very detailed like that. So I really did, watching the film, I'm like, wow, I really feel like we're in the 70s, not just from the Jaws 2 sign, but also from the cars, the clothes, the way people were acting, the way cigarettes were smoked, the hair. I really
cigarettes everywhere.
Oh yeah, that's all they did in the 70s.
Yeah.
But I thought Shane Black really nailed the look of LA in the 70s. So I love seeing that. It was really cool. And like I said, I thought you nailed it perfectly. The film was carried by its two leads. There were a couple not a couple. I'd say there was one guy. I don't know the actor's name. He gets shot, again, a little minor spoiler, gets shot with blue stuff in the film. I forgot that. He was just a little, for me personally, it was a little over the top and a little, but in general, I thought that, like I said, those two main leads, that girl, I thought there were maybe a few moments where that, maybe possibly you might have questioned like what she was doing, but overall, she was a very smart character. I loved how mature she was. I thought she was she was very, she was written very well in my opinion. So I did like the character a lot. Like I said, it was really, and again, you get into the tone of the film, so you understand why, and you just don't care about some of the things you question. So, but in general, I did enjoy this film. I was judging it a little more. I was comparing it a little bit with Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. I still personally like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang a little more than this film. With Robert Downey Jr.
That movie's story is just better.
Yeah, I
this
think so
movie
too.
is more of just, it's like a character movie. It's the movie isn't really about the plot.
You're right.
The plot's just kind of there in the background to give service to these characters.
Yeah, no, I agree. And like I said, though, I still enjoyed this film, and I'm definitely looking forward to what Shane Black. I'm definitely looking forward to Predator now, obviously, of course. But getting back to this, I thought, like I said, I thought he nailed the 70s look. One thing I would have, again, this is just my opinion, I thought he could have done a little better job of. I just thought balancing the tones between the comedic elements and the serious tone of this film. I thought it could have just been balanced just a little bit better, because some moments like, oh, I'm supposed to laugh out loud, look crazy, but like something crazy just happened here in a serious moment. So, But I mean, again, I just thought, like I said, I still enjoyed the comedic elements and the serious tone of this film. I like it when films can really balance that out. And I'm not saying this film didn't. I just thought it could have done, just for a Shane Black film, I just thought it could have done a little better job of balancing out the two tones for me personally.
Well, I think this movie was trying to be a comedy first and serious second. So I get at some points when something very dramatic was happening, they're throwing in comedy, which I like in movies. But a couple of times in this movie, yeah, I felt like it was a little too much comedy where they had to have a serious moment, and they didn't sprinkle in the comedy. It was just comedy with a sprinkle in of drama.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I definitely, when I'm watching, like, a serious moment, I don't mind, like, the tension being broken by a funny moment. Of course not. It's just, like I said, I just thought at certain places, as you just pointed out, it just didn't hit for me. I'm like, I thought the tones could have just been a little better balanced. Like I said, for Shane Black, I have a very high ceiling, so I was just judging it a little harsher on that basis. Throughout the film, I was like, oh, I did like the mystery aspect. Like, I want to keep finding out what's going on. I want to keep finding out what's going on. I want to, solve what's going on right here in this situation, or solve the crime. So I did like that aspect of it. But like you said, it just didn't, like, sometimes it might not have felt like the payoff was exactly what you wanted. But that's all, like we said, it's just our personal opinions. But if you loved it and thought it was great, awesome. We want to hear your opinions and hear exactly what you loved about this film. Because, like I said, the writing was pretty good. The direction was pretty good. The actors' performances were, other than the blue guy face, the chemistry between Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe was fantastic. I also like the little girl who's in the film. She did a really fine job. I'm going to give this film an 8 out of 10.
I'm going to have to agree with you on an 8 out of 10. I liked it. It was everything that I really needed to see from this movie. Good comedy, some decent action, some kind of different type scenes. For the most part, I thought the comedy was pretty good in this movie, and like you said, the characters are just pretty spot on, so I'm going to give this movie an 8. Alright guys, well that's going to do it for this video. Let us know what you thought about the movie in the comments section, and if you like these videos, you can hit the subscribe button.
See you guys next time.